Hey guys, welcome back to Real Love, Real Life podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine.
And I'm Ernesto.
Okay, I'm going to get right to it. Raise your hand if your parents ever just told you, pay your bills on time and never mentioned anything about credit. Okay? Because I feel like that is something that we have in common, big time. But I'm so glad that with time, we've figured it out. And we're not experts and we're not like financial advisors, but I will say that we've made it a very long way.
Yeah, progress.
We've made a lot of progress. So, and this is also something that I had a couple of messages like in the past about, and then recently somebody brought it up again. Just like asking for like some tips or like a video about it. You know, they know that we have a house together, like we have cars, things like that. And they're like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. So I was like, I think that's going to be a really good topic. Again, we are not financial advisors. This is just things that have happened to us and we'd like to share with you. Okay. So first off, were you ever shocked the first time you ever checked your credit score?
I didn't even know what credit was. I didn't find my credit score until I got a car. And then I don't know, I forgot, somebody might have asked me, "Hey, what's your credit score?" or something. And then I think I made a Credit Karma.
How old were you?
20. 20 or 21? 20. Yeah, I was 20. But I feel like I didn't get out to obviously I had got a car loan. That's not really the best way to start your credit. But when I did check my credit, it was at a 700 something.
Like the first time you ever checked your credit?
The first time I ever checked it.
So
because I had been making on-time payments for a while, and then I opened up my Credit Karma, and I remember it was at a 7 something, and I remember one of my homies' girlfriends, we're all talking, and I forgot we started talking about stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, my credit's like 730 something, and she was like, no, like she was literally like, no, it ain't. I'm like, look.
That's crazy.
She was low-key hating.
Yeah, she was hating. The first time I ever checked my credit score, I was 23, and I had a 400 credit score.
That's bad.
That's embarrassing. And I thought like 400, sounds like a big number.
It's better than 100.
I didn't know anything about it. So when my sister made it for me, I was like, oh, like it's 400, and she's like, girl, it's 400.
Like, that's bottom of the barrel.
She's like, I don't know if you can get lower than this. So the first time I ever like used my credit, I was 18 and I went to those stores, La Curacao at the mall. And I don't even remember what I got, but I was 18. I didn't have a job, so I didn't even pay that.
Dang.
I didn't pay it back. And then I didn't check my credit again until, well, that was the first time checking it when I was 23, and it was at 400.
5 years later?
And I had that had already gone like to collections, all of that. So
that's crazy.
Whatever. But I will say now it is at like 720. So it did take me some time from the time that my sister checked it and it was at 400 to the time that we started building our house.
Yeah.
It was like at 720, 30. It was how many years? 2 years?
Ago?
No, like it took me 2 years, right?
Yeah,
it took me about 2 years to get to like the 400s to 720. So it is possible. Mm-hmm. I just had to work really hard for it.
And be consistent.
And be very consistent. So what is a financial mistake that you made because you didn't know better? Do you think it was that car situation?
Yeah, I feel like the first car you ever buy should be cash. Yeah. Because not only do you know you have to work for it, so once you fork up that money, like I feel like you appreciate it more, even if it's a little hoopty.
Well,
you're treating it like it's a Skyline or something, you know what I mean? You're at the car wash every week. And then it's like with a newer car, you're just like, just filthy,
Yeah.
But the car that you grinded for and just, You know what I mean?
Yeah. I bought my first car cash. It cost me $1,600. And literally what you're saying, I was at the car wash with the
Every week.
boys every week. I was babying that thing. Like it was a little bucket, but I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was so meaningful to me because like I worked hard to put that money away when I didn't know, about like I was terrible with money at the time. Um my credit score was terrible, all of that. So the fact that I was able to put $1,600 away and buy my first car was very
Yeah.
rewarding. So it was my baby. And
Yeah.
honestly, I regret getting rid of it.
Yeah, it did help us a lot.
Yeah, it did. Is there anything that like do you think your parents could have done better to like teach you about credit or anything like that?
I think save money. And like I said, save money to buy that first car cash.
Yeah.
Because you're not starting off in a deficit.
I don't
But
think
it's like a double-edged sword because you got your car's reliable. Like that's the thing. I got my car. So when I first started working construction, I rode with my cousin for a little bit, and then once that was coming to an end, then my dad's like, "What are you gonna do?" And then I don't think I had that much money saved up. I think I was making like $500 off of 40 hours. So do the math. You would have to save a couple months, and I didn't have a couple months because I was gonna get moved job sites, and I needed my own car.
yeah.
So my dad straight up took me to San Chevrolet,
Dang.
and just get you in whatever. It don't matter what the numbers are looking like.
Yeah.
First offer, sign. Like, luckily, I think I was paying $371 for the. It was a Chevy Sonic. They wanted to give me a Spark. I was like, nah, I'm straight. And then they showed me the Sonic, and then I was like, hey, that's pretty clean. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog. No, just kidding. Nah,
Yeah.
it was cool, and it wasn't that much, $300. I was making 500 off the 40. Small, reliable car, good on gas. And I never once in my career have ever had to be like, hey, I can't make it because my car.
Yeah.
So I had to pay for a car all my whole life. But I've known a lot of people that, hey, they couldn't make it in or, it's a struggle bus, man, especially if your car takes a poop.
Yeah.
Your engine. Like, remember that Mercury I had? I bought it.
Yeah.
So, you got to do your due diligence, too, when you go and buy a used car, take
Oh,
a
yeah.
mechanic, do a compression test.
Because it can go all downhill. Like, you can throw that
Because I had
money
that
away.
car, not even a month? Boom. Check engine light. I'm just like, what? Needed to get redone. The whole motor coming out, like,
Yeah.
and then it was just horrible.
Yeah. Well, my mom never even mentioned the word credit. So I mean, I was 23 when I was like introduced to it. So I didn't know anything about it. Even when I went to go get like my first, it wasn't even a credit card. I think I just went and like took the item out. They never gave me like an actual card.
At the
So
Curaçao?
yeah, so I never even knew like what it was or anything. Finally, when I checked my credit, and saw that it was terrible, my sister was like, I think like what can save you is a secured credit card.
Yeah.
Again, I knew nothing about it. And I know that there's a lot of people that don't know anything about it, because when people do ask me like, how do you think like your credit got better? I always say a secured credit card.
It was a Capital One,
It was a Capital One secured credit card, and it started off with $200. So you have to put that money in there. So when you open that line, it was $200, and I think that card right now has like a $7,000 limit. I still have it. So they like, as you're making the payments on time. So I think when I went to I made like 6 months of on time payments. I think they went up to 500 and then 1,000.
Oh,
and
it was $250 at first?
It was 200.
Dang.
So from $200, and I think right now the credit limit is like 7,000.
That's crazy.
So it's really good. And I mean, I feel like that was the only card I had pretty much from like the time that I started to when we got the house. So in like 2 years, that secured credit card got me from like the 400 to 720.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of difficult during that stage because $200, if you don't have it under $30, most of the time your credit's gonna be getting knocked down because you're at over 30% usage.
So
So
I
it's
had
like
it.
you gotta like use it and then pay it for sure that month.
Yeah, what I was doing is, remember we lived right next to Costco, so I would go and I wouldn't even fill my car up. I'd put some
Oh
with that
yeah,
card.
you're right. And then
And that
pay
was
it
the
off.
only thing I was using it for.
Yep.
And
So it's like a slow grind, but you
yeah.
kind of get your foot in the door better than just like me just going and get a $25,000 car.
Yeah. It's hard and it
I don't
takes
even.
time.
It was probably 14% interest rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you grow up, you're like, Dad, what the heck?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, guys. I literally had to tell my dad one time. He called me like once I got my credit going. He called me, hey, can you come co-sign for me? And you know, I know my dad was on the struggle bus too, cause the truck he had paid off took a poop. And then you know how it is not having a car. And then I pulled up, and I had already became a little bit more financially literate. So I'm like, what's the interest, payment, all this XYZ?
Yeah.
And I straight up told my dad, I ain't signing that for you. That's horrible. It was so awkward. I bet the salesman hated me. My dad probably was like, felt bad. But I'm gonna say that was, yeah, because he got that. Remember that maroon truck he has?
Yeah.
He got it by himself a little bit after that. He went by himself. So that they were gonna give him a Colorado.
Yeah.
Crazy payment, interest was crazy. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this for you, Dad. I'm sorry. This is horrible.
Yeah.
And I literally at 20, 21 years old had to like make a grown up decision.
Yeah.
And it's your dad too. It's like, you don't want to tell your dad no, but
Do you think he doesn't know about credit or he just like doesn't care? Both.
I think both. But I feel like a lot of older, like those generation, they're just kind of oblivious to stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they're kind of like a bull in a china shop. They're just gonna bulldoze through. Even if it's not pretty, they're just gonna make it through.
I agree with that. Like a big mistake that it's not gonna turn into like bash our parents thing. But so my mom, since she came here from Mexico, like worked her butt off, 2-3 jobs at a time. And I don't think this girl ever thought I can go to a bank and put money in there, like save it. Because her checks, she would go cash them. So she always had cash. Now everything's direct deposit, things like that. But back then, she'd get a check, she'd go cash it. Well, a little bit before, like, I think she had me and Jocelyn, which she was like working like 2-3 jobs all the time, and she would, instead of saving the money, like putting it into a bank, something, she thought that my grandma was gonna save her the money. So my mom was sending her all her money.
No way.
For years and years.
What?
I don't even think I've ever told you this story.
Yeah, because
So,
I'm gonna be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Still, like, my mom can tell you this story and cry about it.
That's sad.
So my mom's plan was when I've had it here, when like I'm done working, all of that, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna like either build or buy myself, my dream house and this and that. And my mom's dream has always been to have like one of those little stores that they have like in Mexico. You can go and grab something really quick. So my mom was gonna build
like
one
a
of
convenience
those,
store?
like a convenience store. My mom had this whole plan to like live her best life out in Mexico. And I mean, back then, I don't know, like I don't know if it's between like 50 and 70,000, which back then is like a lot of money.
Hundreds of
Right
thousands.
now it's like but like back then, like that was like a lot of money. My mom
Yeah.
was working her butt off and literally go and cash her checks and send it to my grandma.
That's
Send it
crazy.
to my grandma. Well, finally, when my mom like I think she had lost her job or whatever, and she was like, you know what, like I'm done, like I'm gonna leave. I don't think I was born yet. She goes to Mexico and she tells my grandma, like, I'm ready, you know, where's like my money? My grandma had told my mom, I have your money in this bank that's going to be paying you interest for having that money in there.
What?
So my grandma too, she was filling up my mom with all these lies. And when my mom went over like to get her money, my grandma's like, I don't have anything.
What?
My mom said like she almost like fell to the floor, like almost passed out. Like, what? She thought it was a prank. Like, what are you saying? And my grandma's like, I don't have a dime. As you've been sending it to me, I've been spending it for
Wow.
years and
That's
years.
insane.
Crazy.
That's-
But again, like, so like you couldn't think outside the box to go, and she was already a resident. Like, she
Yeah.
could go to a bank. I need a bank account, and I'm gonna come and put my money in here every month, every week. So, like, you know, just like you said, like your dad, like he either doesn't know or doesn't
crazy.
care. Like, I don't know what it was. Back then, like, was it because like there was no internet, or like there was, but they didn't know how to use it? I don't know, but
You just scratch your head sometimes.
it is literally something to just like scratch your head.
That's
like,
insane,
what?
though.
My mom still talks about it all the time.
Honestly, you know, it's nothing about materialism, but if my parents did that to me, I would probably never talk to them again.
Well, I mean,
how can you even be? How can you consider yourself my parent?
so my grandma, you know, did that to my mom, which sucks. And my mom was kind of put in the same situation, but my mom didn't do my sister dirty.
Yeah.
So like when my sister was born and they filed that lawsuit for like neglect and stuff, my mom won, I think it was $75,000 or something like that. And they told my mom, like, you can go to this bank. The money is like deposited in this bank. You can go at any time and like take it out and this and that. And my mom said, no, that's not my money. It's my daughter's money. And I know that
Dang.
she's going to put it to better use than I am.
Wow.
So I don't know how much like interest like it accrued over like the years, but the day my sister turned 18, she flew to LA. I think the bank was like in like West Covina or something. She flew to LA, and literally they did like a wire transfer to her bank here in Arizona. And my mom struggled, like, I mean, my mom was
Years.
like on the bus with 5 kids, like struggling.
But she didn't touch
And
that
she
money.
never touched that 70 grand that was in the bank. She said it was my sister's.
Dang.
That's rough.
Yeah, she's a G for that
Yeah.
one.
But you know what I do feel too? Like, I feel like schools could have taught us about that. Like, why don't
Yeah.
they teach us about that? Do they? Sometimes
They made
I'm like,
school to make employees, not
True.
critical thinkers.
yeah, I think,
Because if you look at a classroom 100 years ago to now, it's the same thing, if not worse. You may think times are getting better because technology is advancing, XYZ, education's been going to the dump.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know. But it's also, at the end of the day, it falls on you.
Yeah.
Just like the book, Think and Grow Rich. No, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I don't know what I was going to say. Think and Grow Rich. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't come from a rich dad, you got to be the rich dad.
Yeah.
Not just materialistically, but knowledge, wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, you have to acquire that. And sometimes, you know, you're the one to come and break the generational curses and
Yeah.
set up the foundation.
And I think now that we know better too, like, it's really important for us to pass it on to the kids. Like, anything that we know now about credit, like, let them know, hey, credit cards aren't bad. You just
If
have
you use
to
them right.
really know how to use them before signing anything. You know, you need to look at the interest. You need to see like what it's like. Don't just dig this hole that you
Yeah.
can't come out of later, because that's really easy. Like the credit cards like that you open when you go to like a store. And I was going to ask you that next. Have you ever fell into that, like open a credit card just to get the discount?
I wouldn't say that, but I remember one time I was walking through Tanger Outlets,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know why I wanted to watch. And then I didn't like the ones at Tilly's, and then I just happened to walk into K Jewelers, and I seen that stainless one I have,
Yeah.
and it was like $500 or $600, and then they're like, you know, that's how they get you to their. Well, I guess so. They're like $40 a month.
Yeah.
Sign me up. So that was the car, and then I opened up the K Jewelers. So that was the first credit card I think I took out, and I had the car loan. So that's how I got started off with credit. So I was making on-time payments on my car and on-time payments on the watch. It was $500. Excuse me. It was 500. It was $600 payments. You know, but yeah. So
But
they
I feel
did
like
give me.
that's a jewelry store. Like it's also like something like I feel like that case card like isn't bad because again that's where you've gotten like my rings and things like that. Very important. But what I mean is like you know you go to like Old Navy and then they're like if you sign up for a credit card like you'll get $10 off. Like this whole thing I'm like no.
And I feel like for like clothing stores, it's kind of like a little bit more convenient because you who don't want to always have new clothes. So like you could just be like swipe,
Yeah,
swipe,
and then
swipe,
that can
pay
become
later.
very dangerous
Yeah, and then
immediately.
you dig yourself in a financial hole, and you're just like you can't even see the light at the top. You're just like
Yeah.
whoa, and I feel like that's when life, like you're not really living no more. And I feel like I know about mostly everybody can relate to that.
Yeah.
Just you know. And we all make mistakes, guys. We all, you know, even when you know better, you still make a mistake. You know, it's human nature. The flesh is always gonna fail, but the spirit won't. So we just gotta be better, guys.
Yeah.
Like our parents weren't perfect. Our grandparents weren't perfect, but you know they made sacrifices for us to be better. So we just gotta keep it going, you know. So, but it is definitely difficult to be financially literate, and you know not most people are going to want to invest in a you know Roth IRA or you know in the stock market. You know that's scary for most people. They're like, or just like you said, just a regular high yield savings account. Like, you know, I know most people don't really have a savings right now. I don't know the exact number on it, but it's like, well, Ernesto, how are you gonna tell me to say, you know, try to look for a 5% to 7%, you know, high yield savings account, but I don't even have 500 in my account, so it's like, you know, it starts, you know, with $20 a day trying to save or five or, it's tough, but we just got to, guys. It's just you're not living when you're just behind the curve, you know.
I agree. So just to like for people that don't know like how credit works. So payment history,
Credit age,
how much, right? Like
utility, like what's your percentage is at?
Yeah. And then I think the types of accounts, right? Don't they separate them like
your diversity?
Yeah. So there's a lot of things
Each one's 10 to 15% of like your credit.
Yeah. So they
credit
separate
inquiries,
them.
Sorry. It's all kind of coming to.
No, go ahead. So it's like a lot of it did. I had that written down.
Is it
inquiries.
inquiry or inquiries?
I don't know. They'll know. They'll know.
What is it, guys? My financial people. If we got any financial, real life financial advisors in the.
It would actually be really nice.
Message me.
It would actually be really nice to like sit like for
or people that are good with taxes
to bring
messages.
someone on. Exactly. Okay, but I did research it for you guys. Paying on time is the number one.
Yeah.
That can bring you down like so fast. Another thing that people don't know, not that I'm encouraging anybody to like make like late payments, but what a lot of people don't know, like when you have this isn't for rent. This is for like when you actually like are making a mortgage payment. So a lot of people think that like after the first day, you know, people think like your mortgage is due on the first of the month, which it is. It is due on the first of the month. But when you're actually paying a mortgage, every bank gives you a grace period. And it's a 16-day grace period. And I know this because I worked in the mortgage like for 3 years. People would call crying, panicking on the second day. Like, I can't make my payment. Like, help me. Like, what do? I don't want to lose my house, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, take a deep breath. You know you have a grace period, right? They don't know that. Their realtor or their loan officer, whatever, they don't tell them these things. Like, you have from the 1st to the 16th of the month to make your payment without getting a late fee on it. After the 16th, you're going to get a late fee. And I think it's 20% of what your mortgage payment is. It's a lot. And then after the last day of the month, so yeah, like, so if like you didn't make your payment in August, on September 1st, if you still haven't made your payment, then it would go onto your credit. Oh. So you have wiggle room.
Yeah.
And like you know, use it. You have we do it, or we've done it, like, you know, pay, like extending that.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta wait until that that coming Friday or Wednesday when the check finally hits, you know.
Yeah.
But that just happens. First happens to land on a, you know, because some people. That's why I hate getting paid every 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
It's tough, but I feel like you do have to manage a lot better, huh?
Yeah. You
gotta anticipate stuff more. Versus if you get paid weekly, you're just like,
yeah. Oh, I think it's definitely
Friday, you know.
It's
Friday always saves
better.
the day. But yeah, you know your wiggle room, but always just try to be consistent no matter what. Even if you got to stop the Starbucks.
I had to do it. I had to do it for us to get.
Stop the hookah. No, it's like.
I had to stop the Starbucks to get our house. And you had to stop something else. But I used to go to Starbucks every single day.
Something else.
In the morning before work for my coffee.
That was because you would get a coffee and like something to
and
eat,
a pastry. So let's say you're spending $12 a day, 5 days a week. That's $60 a week times
240.
240?
240.
240?
No, times 4.
Hold on. What is it again?
You said 60 times 4. That's 240.
Why? You have me all messed up.
Because you did $12 a day times 5.
$12 a day times 5.
Which is 60.
Yes.
And there's 4 weeks in a month.
So in a month, that's 240. In a year?
In a year, 240, 12. Like $3,000?
Yeah, like almost $3,000 in a year.
Wow.
Just for coffee. Like, that's crazy.
That's not.
I know that it doesn't seem like a lot. Like, okay, $3,000 in a year. Imagine if you woke up on New Year's Day and somebody hands you a jar with $3,000 in it.
That could be a down payment.
Yeah.
If you want to get a house and you get an FHA loan and you have a low down, like, or, you know, 3,000 save your life.
Honestly, like, and I'm not gonna say I've like quit like Starbucks like for like good. I still go now here and then, but like how I used to.
Oh yeah.
No, and it helped. So we had to come up with $14,000 to put on the down payment of the house, right? Like 13 something, almost 14.
Yeah.
And they're like, your house will be done in like 7-8 months.
You had to get that.
We were like, what the heck do we do? We're cutting Starbucks. We're like cutting this. We were rarely eating out. And it was hard because we lived next to everything, like Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, all of these things. We lived right there in
Avondale, guys, right by Harkin Theater. So
everything was right there. So do you know how hard it was? Like Friday, you just got paid. You're driving home and you're like, oh, like, but we have a family of 5. Yeah. We go to Chick-fil-A, we're spending $60, $70. So it was like, no, we had to like put our big pants on. I had to put my big girl pants on and start making my coffee at home. And we did it. In like 7 months, 7-8 months, we were able to have $14,000 in our savings. And a little bit more, huh? Because I remember we went to go do the wire transfer and we still had money left. And that's why we went. I think we bought like our couch with the money that we had left.
Yeah.
So we even had a little extra to splurge.
Yeah, it was crazy though. So had to work hard. I think, remember, I had to go work in Flagstaff and all that.
Yeah.
The baby was little.
But it was so worth it.
I mean,
we have our house now, and it's like, dude, imagine if we wouldn't have like stopped eating out or stopped spending at Starbucks. Like, we would have still been in a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, so it's definitely possible, guys. we're not perfect. We're no better than nobody. We're just as goofy and dumb as the next person. But once you take stuff serious, guys, like, and that's the thing. I never had nobody growing up teaching me about like philosophy or just, like the world literally bends to your reality when you take stuff seriously. When you start vibrating in the right frequency, the world just starts bending to your reality. Whatever you have in your subconscious, when it comes to the conscious world, you're like, but it's the little things that you plant right now that come to fruition later. So it's like, we were grinding and grinding, kind of like your TikTok and all that. You had to grind for years, not making a dime, and then it finally hit. So, but each day that you're making, a positive step towards that, it'll happen. You just have to put one foot in front of the other, even if that hole seems like inescapable.
Yeah.
We dig ourselves in a financial hole that you don't even see the light up there, but you just got to put one foot in front of the other, make the right decisions, cut out the nonsense, and make it happen. Do it for yourself so you can live your best life.
If you're in a relationship too, like being very transparent with each other, like this is what, even if you don't have like, joint bank accounts, being very transparent. Hey, this is what I brought in. This is what you brought in. Have a money date.
Yeah.
Because then when you go overboard and like you spent too much and, your partner needs some and you don't have any, or, you're short, whatever, then the tension that money can bring, like, onto your relationship, like that's like really stressful.
Yeah.
And remember when we used to do confessions, I think somebody sent in like, do you really tell Ernesto how much money you make on social media? And I was like, I tell him. He knows everything I make. Like I even get like so excited that I'm like, oh my God, like look, like this is how much like I made today or something. And I know like that I actually like know women that wouldn't tell their husbands they even made a dime from that. So
they'll
then
just be secretly plotting to leave you at.
Yeah, like, or pocketing it. Like, I'm not going to share this with him. Like, it's still his responsibility to pay all the bills and this and that. Like, I really like that we're very transparent. I think that that's why, things have worked out so well between us and we're able to do so much together because we just keep it transparent.
Yeah, got to keep it real.
Yeah. So there's that. Okay, so I'm going to do like 2 true or false questions for you, okay? True or false, carrying a balance helps your credit score.
Huh?
True or false, carrying a balance on your credit cards can help your credit score.
Yeah.
True?
True.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm having a brain fart on that one.
It's just like a true or false, like just some questions that like I wrote down.
Okay.
That I think are like a little pop quiz.
Okay.
Okay. But can you tell us why? Really quick.
Say it one more time.
Carrying a balance helps your credit score.
Carrying a balance?
Having a balance on your credit score.
What do you mean balance?
So you said true. Lee, cut that part off, please. Carry a balance. So you have, like, remember how you were saying right now, like the 30%.
Okay. So more as credit consumption?
So would you rather pay your credit card all the way down or leave it at like 15, 20%?
Yeah, I would leave it always under the 30. It really wants you to be under 10. But if you're under 30, I think you're good.
But you'll never pay it off completely.
If I have the money, yeah. I'm going to pay it off and not worry about it.
You think so? It doesn't close it?
No, you're never supposed. That's what I did wrong one time. I closed one of my credit. See, I don't know. I was young and dumb. When I got the K's, I went to Desert Sky one time and I seen another watch and I got another credit line through them. So I should have just kept it open, but eventually I'm like, what am I doing? Just opening the blinds. I ended up closing it. But that also hurts your credit score because it knocks down your credit history, your credit age. Yeah. So let's say I had those accounts open for 3 years and then I take that one away, it's going to knock it down. Also, when you open up a new line, it takes the average, so you're gonna knock yourself down on that too. So
So paying it all the way to zero is not the same as closing it.
no,
If
because
you
it's
leave
not.
it all the way.
It's just neutral. There's no interest being charged. It's just at a standstill. Versus if you close it, you don't.
You don't have history. You don't have nothing.
Yeah, it's just done. So
That makes sense.
let's say you had that for 10 years and you close that account, your credit's gonna take a dump. Cause imagine how strong that looks. 10 years of an open line,
Yeah.
especially on time payments. Imagine to a lender, they're gonna be like, wow, this person wants to borrow 10,000. Of course,
Yeah.
it's gonna be deposited in 24 hours. You know, so if you can stay under 30, but
Never close it.
realistically, if you can pay it off, pay it off. Because if you pay it off, then you can just have that money in your account being starting to accumulate. You know what I mean?
Okay. That I actually didn't know. I thought paying it down to zero was like you're like basically like closing it.
It might be better to keep it open and always having that balance. So I think you're always, every month you just get boosted up on time
Right.
payments. So if you, like I said, if you're under 30% and you kind of use that trick, I think it'll bump you up 5-10 points every month. On time payments, low usage. So those are already brownie points right there. So I think that would work to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, what the heck, boom. But if you have not crazy debt, like you can probably use that to your advantage and just, not finesse the system, but like you're managing to pay it right, staying under 30 to 10%, 30 or 10% on time payments. So they're like, wow, this person's responsible.
Yeah.
The credit bureaus.
Yeah. All that is like, honestly, it sounds scary.
And let me say now, shout out to Credit Sesame. That's where I learned a lot of it.
You better sponsor us.
Sponsor me, because I love it. They even hook it up for the free version.
Mm-hmm.
You could get the 7-day trial. So you can get all three of them, Equifax, whatever. I don't know all of them.
Yeah, the
So you can see all three of them. And not only that, you could go way more into depth into things. But they break it down. They tell you how much each affects your credit score.
Well, I have it, but I'm not like you. I don't pay for it. I just have the free version, and it's still very useful. It's still very useful. It breaks it down.
So shout out to Credit Sesame, because man, even the free version really. Look at that. They can really help you. A free app.
It tells you, like, you don't even have to bring out your calculator. It'll tell you exactly, like, it'll be like, pay this amount and your credit can score to this amount. Like, it's really good. It's very accurate.
So that's the first step. A lot of people that don't have their credit right don't even have a credit app.
Oh.
They just.
How are you an adult and don't have a credit app?
They just know their credit because they went to the dealer and ran their credit, and they're like, all right, this is what you got.
Okay, you guys, so get a credit app. Put your
ASAP.
Yeah, do that. And I think if you're really like trying to do something like with your credit, bring it up, things like that, I think definitely looking into the secure credit card.
You have to.
I'm telling you, that was the best thing I could have ever done.
And it's like, it's $250. Like, you're not gonna, like, imagine if everybody their first time got like $10,000 credit line. Oh my gosh.
That
so
would be a disaster.
Like even if you're like making a minimum wage or whatever, you could still, pay it down, manage it, and you're not just gonna throw yourself in the hole that you can't come out of. Like $250, you make, like you said, 6 months, they boost it to 5.
Yeah.
1 year, you're at $750.
You're building that trust too with the bank, like.
And you're being responsible, you're being consistent.
Yeah.
So you're doing good, making good habits.
Yeah.
So, you just don't want to splurge on that credit card and go crazy. Yeah. So that's a good first step.
So honestly, you guys, if you can't afford it, like, don't get it. Like, I mean, obviously, right? A house, a car, something like that. Sometimes you have to get it like on credit. I mean, I don't think I've ever met actually I do. My sister bought her house cash, but that was 15 years ago. But like there shouldn't be a reason why you're like opening a credit card at like Gap or something. I just don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessary. Like, if you can't afford a pair of jeans, you probably shouldn't be in the store anyway.
Yeah. Like, and let's keep it real. Like, if somebody like you can go to Goodwill on the sticker day and find great clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of going to get the credit card, it's like we're just, you know, we just care about what others perceive of us, and it's like,
yeah,
who cares, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when I was younger, I'd always be buying clothes and all that. Now I'm just like my dad, you know? Same 4 pairs of jeans.
Your cargos are from Walmart.
Cargo, you know,
they
Walmart.
cost me $12.
I'm bougie, man. You wear the Wrangler pants, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, for the work, you get the Rustlers, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you paying for the $20 for the Wranglers, man.
Yeah.
Those are like true religions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys found this episode helpful. Let us know what you think in the comments. If there's anything else that you guys suggest that we talk about, put it in the comments, you guys. All right. Well, thank you for joining us and being here. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Later, guys. Bye.